Okay, it's David Higgins, number 2 in the countdown. This is episode 14, In the End, part 2, with everything on the line. This is one of those episodes that when I'm really sort of know I'm going into battle for a rally, I just flick this one back on again just to remind ourselves that we can do it and we can overcome everything. And just the pure tension of this episode really sort of, for me, it brings every single memory back, because it was probably one of the only rallies we did with the team where the only outcome for us for a result was to win. Before it was either win the event if you can or bring the car home, but this literally was a winner's take all on an event that was never going to be that easy for us, and there was a lot on the line going into it, but it's the tension of the whole episode of it sort of comes back, and the memories come flooding back as soon as you watch it.
Previously on Launch Control. With an unbroken string of podium finishes, Subaru Rally Team USA has led the Rally America Championship for the majority of the season.
When the guy says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, you want to beat him, and that's all you're caring about.
The higher the level of competition, the more it brings out of us.
However, with the competition stepping up their game and only 2 events remaining, the points gap has tightened. Hanging dust, power steering failure, and injuries to David Higgins at the penultimate event have put the Subaru team into damage control.
David thinks he's broken his hand or he's hurt his hand really badly. Desperately needed service. Over.
Their ability to finish the event is now in question.
It's certainly not what we need at this stage of the rally.
This is Launch Control. Racing drivers are single-minded in purpose. Winning means everything. David Higgins is a champion driver, but it's his passion for the sport that rallies the team behind him. He's in pain with a possible broken wrist and injured ankle.
The power steering broke. He thinks he's broken his hand because it pulled it out of the wheel. And then going into the next stage, we were trying to fix the car, and an SUV trying to get to the start of the stage drove past and went straight over his leg.
David retreats to the RV for medical attention.
So we're just going to try and get into service, see if we can fix him up a little bit, but it's certainly not what we need at this stage of the rally.
You couldn't make it up if you tried.
Unsure of whether David can continue, the team stays focused on preparing his car.
3 minutes, guys.
What do you see, Chris?
Down.
With bandages and ice, David insists on finishing the race. The championship is still his to lose, and he can't let the points lead slip away to his rival.
Craig and myself had been in a season-long battle with Ken Block. They came to the championship with a new sort of level of car, which was basically a WRC car, but with a 2-litre engine. And really sort of took us by surprise a little bit, to be honest. And the whole year was a chase for Vermont sports car, pushing development forward, and to a point where we had some speed and we won some early events while they had problems and things. And the events we didn't win, we were second place. So in paper it looked like we had a really commanding lead, but when the drop scores came into account, that all played us up for a sort of a seasoned battle in the end.
10.
David and Craig regroup on the start line.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, right 5, 50, left 6, 100.
Still 39 stage miles to go. With victory now out of the question, the goal is to muscle through the afternoon, salvage as many points as possible.
130. Wow. Left 6 in over jump, 50.
Even with power steering working again, these miles are an exercise in perseverance. Fortunately, their fast pace through yesterday's dust has given them a welcome buffer over third place.
6 minus long in, 50. Right 6 times over crest into 5 plus over finish.
They cross the final finish line, exhausted, but still in second place.
Left 4, okay. Well then, mate, that was alright through there, to be fair. Good pace through there. Is it bad, or? Yeah, it hurt. The gap between us and Ken before the car went wrong was only like 31 seconds.
Next time.
Their main competition is relieved to see the Subaru team pull up behind them at the podium celebration.
I'm glad you made it.
You're a tough old boy, you are.
Thank you very much.
What a day. Trial by fire today.
Yeah.
We just wanted to make sure your spirit was in good
See
shape.
if I still had some resolve in me.
I think there's something between you and Ken. You're doing it on purpose for me.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I think you guys are doing it on purpose.
Just to stress
in
you
my
out.
heart, yeah.
Tonight, both teams will relish in their individual stories of victory and survival. They are also well aware that the championship is now down to the wire. The final rally will be a winner-take-all battle royale. It's hard to imagine how a car can rise from a single sheet of steel, but they do every day. At the factory in Indiana, Outbacks and Legacies make the journey from single component to completed car 700 times a day. This is the heart of Subaru in America.
You see a lot of the tools that they give them. Just makes it easy for them.
For a handful of production cars, life takes a different turn after they roll off the assembly line. Instead of heading to the showroom, they are delivered to Vermont Sports Car, where they are reborn into rally and rallycross monsters.
Working in a race shop is totally different than working at your normal repair shop. Typically, those guys are all kind of assigned to one car, so it's their baby, you know. They don't mind putting in the long hours.
Every time the car goes out, you know, it just feels like, you know, it is my baby. I've been working on that car all year.
I live with that car, I eat and sleep with that car. It doesn't leave my sight. For me, the chassis, when I'm back home at the workshop, is what it gets all my love for sure.
Over the past 3 seasons, these cars have completely evolved. Bucky, Dave, and Sfera have seen it firsthand.
These things take time to build a car, you know?
It's been a lot of progress. There's so many different changes in the car that I wasn't even aware that you could even make.
We've been flat out. Every day the car has to be faster and lighter and stronger.
It was difficult in the beginning, but we've been steadily addressing every problem we can find, and it's really great to see the cars start to perform the way we knew that they could.
As they have grown towards podium finishes, so have their cars.
And there's a lot more confidence now that we have a package that we can take to the fight.
The next step for Rallycross is to take that 3rd place on the podium and bring that up to the next spot, and then take that 2nd place on the podium and bring that up to the next spot.
I want to be in the A-mean and I want to be in the first row. That is my goal in my head, but you know, I hate really to lose.
It's very satisfying to see my baby grow up. It's just a constant drive for us. That's what we're here to do. That's what we want to do, and it's fun.
At times difficult, other times rewarding. Finding the right balance of power, control, and durability has forced the team to evolve technically and personally.
I have learned you can't do it all by yourself. You just absolutely cannot do it by yourself. It's a team sport.
It's quite a war out there. I wouldn't want to be the driver, as much fun as they say it is. He does sort of get the glory, but we share the wealth. We're a team.
I mean, I definitely feel the synergy within the team. There's no one that works harder than the guys that are wrenching on those cars, you know. I get in the car and I turn some wheels and push some buttons. That job isn't as hard as spending hours laboring on the car.
These guys are horses, man. They work hard and they care about it, truly care about it.
Pressure's good. I think it keeps you on your toes.
Next year, definitely. Some new things in the pipeline. Regular podiums are a must.
So the off-season will be very busy preparing for next year.
Kind of excited about what I see with the car. The new car is head and shoulders over what we have now.
Before the current season is even finished, Work on the next evolution is well underway.
The new car is a big step in the right direction. Simple but strong in a place where you need to be strong and built for rallycross.
I'd hope that next year, at the end of the season, you're asking us about what was our favorite win, you know? What win was the best, you know? Because that's where we're going to be. I mean, that's where we're trying to be for next year.
Tucked in the corner of the workshop lies a symbol of the progress to come, a beacon of high hopes and excitement for the team. Houghton, Michigan, home of the Lake Superior Performance Rally, the final and deciding round of the 2013 Rally America Championship. The fan-filled park expose is buzzing with anticipation.
Start of a very important rally.
This is the closest championship race in years, and both sides have claimed their intention to win.
The preparation's done, but now there's only one thing that matters now, and that's the result from this rally.
The air of calm confidence and smiles is just a mask, hiding the intense emotion and pressure these teams are facing.
Both of us have got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
So it's just going to be the same old scrap. That's what we're here for.
Ken Block and Ford must win to take the championship. Higgins and Subaru need to get in their way.
We always knew how quick Ken is over a single stage when things goes right, so we knew we were up for a big challenge, but at the same point we were confident that going into the rally that if we can get through those first group of stages and be within sort of 10-15 seconds of him. But I also was quite conscious that we didn't want to go and set a pace so quickly in the rally that couldn't be upped, because then you start driving on risk very, very early in the rally, and it's easy for somebody to get caught out. So I wanted to sort of start at sort of 95-98%, knowing that we had a little bit left.
As the cars arrive at the start of the first stage, the usual friendly banter and socializing is gone. The teams stick to themselves and focus on the task at hand.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go 120, right 6 extra long. 180, in okay. Water maybe. 70, flat crest, 150. Small crest into left 5 long.
From the first mile, the pace is unrelenting.
4 minus tightens very bad. 30, slow entry, left 3 plus. Whoa.
Unlike anything seen in America before.
6 tightens on big crest into left. Yeah, left 6 tightens on big crest into 5 plus in camber. 100. Big flat crest, 50, right 5 plus over crest.
I think it's one of those rallies a little bit where the grip is very changeable. It's like Rally GB in the UK, that you can go into a corner, you haven't got the same levels of grip. So if you back off a fraction and drive to a speed that you know you're going to get through with no moments, you're just going to be slow. So you have to almost drive to a point where you hope you can have the level of grip you need, but every now and again you hit a corner that's a bit slicker and the grip just goes. You just got to fire a load of steering on or a load of correction on really quickly to do it. So it is one of those rallies that is a bit like that. Anyway, you know, some of the other ones can be like that when it rains, but you're almost expecting it. But LSPR is definitely a rally where you have a lot of surface grip changes that you're not really expecting.
After the first set of stages, Block is just a 4-second lead. Still anybody's game.
And slow entry right 4 minus long in. And left 6, then slow entry left 4 in. Repeat left 6, then slow entry left 4 in.
As dusk descends, the cars return for their last service before the night stages. Higgins now trails Block by 8 seconds after choosing the wrong tire.
Are you just trying to make it interesting? It's like playing catch with a loaded grenade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Normally, 8 seconds wouldn't be a concern, but at the moment, it is taking a toll on nerves.
Well, in 2013, we went to 7 events, and with those events, they've allowed 1 score to drop. So Ken this year has a DNF, so he's going to drop a single point, where we're losing. Our lowest place finish is a 3rd, so we're dropping 3rd place points, and that's what makes the championship so close at the final round.
The team doesn't want to go to bed tonight with a deficit to overcome tomorrow. Something needs to change.
We got 3 stages, we'll just push on every single one of them. We really need to try and get ahead of Ken.
Pressure's well on and the stages are just so slick that it's going to be a long, tough night.
Car's great, yeah.
Just got to go out, and David's got to give it to it. That's all there is.
Make the egg the other way.
3 treacherous night stages lie ahead.
Long crest, 30, right 4 plus, tightens right 4 in dip.
Fog is moving in, and the roads are wet and slick.
Then, short left 5 in over crest, 60. Right 4, then right 4 in, sudden left 4 minus in over crest, 50. Late right 4 in over crest, 70. Slow left, tightens left 4 minus.
But these conditions are what Higgins grew up with in Wales. This is his opportunity, his time to attack.
Right 6, tightens over big crest.
The risk and commitment by Higgins and Drew is rewarded. They take 11 seconds back on stage 7, followed by 11 more on stage 8.
Minus over long crest, 200. Left 5 tightens over crest, 200.
At service, tensions ease. The team that was down by 8 will end the day up by 13.
Well done. Well done. Excellent.
Yeah, we had a really good push on, and luckily the stages were the same repeat of the ones we'd just done, so we knew our notes were really good. We made some amendments on them on the first pass, and we're confident there was nothing in there to really catch us out, so we could really sort of give it everything we had. Came out of those stages and they were really good. No problems, the car was perfect, there was no issues at all with there, and even with the weather being a bit cooler, sort of the issues that we had of sort of wearing the tyres meant that we could run the softer compound tyres without the risk of them sort of falling away from us. So everything was sort of going in our favour a little bit then, and you sort of go to bed that night thinking, well, yeah, we've definitely given them something to think about, and we slept like babies and woke up the next morning feeling fresh and ready to go and do it again.
An early morning after a brief night's rest.
Day 2, Lake Superior Rally. We could not have planned a more interesting rally if we tried.
Park Expose in Lance, Michigan resets the battle.
David Higgins, instead of the last 3 stages last night, pulled back a lot of time.
Subaru may hold a small overnight lead, but everyone knows things are about to get even faster.
Every stage is going to be like a qualifying stage. We're just going to go out there and go flat out and see what happens.
Higgins is first on the road today. With Glock immediately behind, David's braking points and racing lines will be clear to see. To make up time, Glock must try to brake later and carry more speed than the Subaru ahead of him. The morning stages are fierce. David and Craig will see their lead shrink to under 8 seconds.
Left 6 tightens on big crest into 5 plus in camber, 100. Big flat crest, 50.
When they arrive at service, David is concerned about being able to up the pace. Craig says he's never gone that fast in a rally car.
There's really nothing left, obviously. I mean, we're taking silly risky places.
And yet, both teams keep going faster.
He's just looking at my lines and trying to brake a touch later everywhere, so...
Put it this way, right? That stage he took 4 seconds off us. We were 23 faster than our time yesterday. There's really much more we can do.
Back on the stages, David and Craig continue their hunt for more speed. They cut every corner and use all of the road, and then some. As they approach the spectator hairpin, David takes to the grass to increase his turn radius and strategically hide his braking point from the pursuing block.
Left 6 minus in 50.
At this speed, there's no margin for error.
Right 6 minus, continued.
When Ken arrives, he attacks the corner aggressively. This is the moment where his championship hopes begin to unravel. Just a few seconds lost, but in a game of tenths, it is a frustrating spin. He puts his foot down to make up lost time.
Drivers put a lot more trust when they're following me than probably I do when I'm following other people. So Travis would be a great example of this. If I'm going first on the road, he'll literally brake everywhere where I brake and just try and sneak that little bit more. And they'll sort of force themselves and copy you into a certain point where they'll get that benefit of your lines all the time. So my initial thought was just to keep left to open the corner up a little bit more, but I also knew that it makes it harder for someone to see your brake lines, and it was one of those corners where if you brake too early for it, you can lose a lot of time. Obviously, you brake too late, you risk overshooting the corner or having a spin or something. So that was it, and as it turned out, that was a real sort of a corner which really turned the rally on its head, and in the end, the championship.
Downstage, Higgins and Drew are pushing equally hard. A slippery, close call shakes them. They will squeak through the corner, but they are lucky.
And early left 6 minus, 200. Yeah, flat crest, 250 over finish.
David and Craig finish the stage.
Come on!
Block will not.
Right 6 extra long.
A big crash has eliminated him from the title fight.
Look, that was a big slide on that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you note it?
Yeah, I got it.
And this one place, we went into this one corner, and I remember just after that hairpin, there was a real fast section down the hill, and it was all sort of pretty much flat out, just tiny sort of dab of the brake to get the nose to turn in. And on this one place, it was like hitting black ice, and we had a massive slide. It didn't actually ever look that big from inside the car, but like we were passengers inside our own car for quite a long time, and sort of came out of it and did the normal, have a giggle at the end of the thing, and just checking that Craig got that corner noted, ready for the second pass of it, and didn't really think any more of it. And then we're on the road section down to the next stage, and we sort of pulled over to do our normal sort of procedures of checking tyres, scraping mud from under the wheel arches, and everything we could just to keep the car as light as possible. And I remember Antron came up behind me and with a bottle of water and just tipped it over my head, and I'm like, obviously he knew that Ken had gone off and was out of the rally, and we didn't, and he was just sort of basically celebrating with us. But that was the first we knew of it. It was when he sort of chucking the water over me, and I was ready to swing for him.
By the time the team arrives at their next service, Subaru Rally Team USA knows they've won the championship. The sense of relief is palpable.
Good job, bud. Good job. Congratulations.
Handshakes and hugs all around, but the celebration is kept to a minimum. The rally isn't over yet, even if the championship is.
Just got to get it to the end of the event, right?
The best thing is as well, we were leading when it happened.
No, he was trying hard and it just didn't happen. I'm going to give you 4 stages with no pressure. How's that? That's a nice treat.
Yeah, that's nice. Thanks, man.
You've earned it.
Go and enjoy yourself.
You've earned it, yes.
While the car heads back out for the final 4 stages, plans for celebration are afoot.
I don't know the best way to describe this. We're gonna do a little champagne shower, or monsoon rather. I hope nobody else has like a wedding or anything to celebrate. Should be interesting.
Right, over big crest, into right 3 long.
David Higgins and Craig Drew will complete the remaining stages uncontested.
Flip, slow short late left 4 plus tightens in over crest, narrow exit, 200 over finish, flat crest, 170.
They have won the rally.
Yes!
The championship.
Well done, pal. Well done, mate. Brilliant.
And the manufacturer's title for Subaru.
Treble champions.
What a rally. What a season.
Very successful day, so we're extremely happy. It was a good, fair fight.
It's just incredible those guys can hold the line so close at that high level of competition. David came in and he said, Matt, is my limit. That is my limit. I cannot go any quicker.
It's good to see it go our way.
We kept going, we never gave up, and 3 in a row feels pretty good.
They're really down to the last day, down to the last few hours.
That's about as good as it gets.
This might be their 3rd consecutive championship, but it is the hardest fought of their career.
We've worked so hard this year, probably harder than any other year, really.
This event in particular, when we knew the battle was on, is definitely the fastest I've personally ever been in a rally car. And, we're really pleased to have done what we needed to do, come here, got the win, and won the championship.
Ken Block and his Ford team raised the bar in the closest Rally America championship in recent history. Racing a clock has its merits, but racing a true equal is what motorsport is all about.
Thankfully, we've upped our game, and I think shocked a few people. So.
Ken's really fast, David's really fast, and that's why it's racing and not just show us how cool your cars are.
Yeah, to be honest, they were probably 2013, 14 and 15 were probably my favourite seasons we ever had, really, because we didn't have the best car in 13 compared to everybody else. Like Ken's car was definitely a step above us. And it was the hard work that Subaru and Vermont Sports Car did to develop the car we had that almost has put us in the situation now where our car is so damn good was because of this battle in 13. We rushed development, like ideas that Jonathan had for the new 15 car was starting to get thrown onto this car as early as 13, just because we knew we needed more all the time. The whole motivation behind the team and ourselves and everyone to try and be the best we could be was really stands out in this episode.
For 10 months, Vermont Sports Car has been completely dedicated to bringing the championship home for Subaru.
It was an exceptional form of validation for Subaru. Very pleased for all the crew, very pleased for David and Craig, who worked very hard.
Everybody from the drivers to the crew to the engineers, they weren't really shaken by what was going on. They knew how to come out, they were prepared to do it, and that was really amazing.
And this is the first year they brought the Manufacturers' Championship back, and very important to be able to provide it to Subaru of America. It's our #1 goal for the season, so we achieved it. Very proud of that.
The team lives through ups and downs over a season, but today is their reward for the long hours and dedication. Today, there is nothing left to win. Preparation for next year can begin tomorrow, but right now, every member of this team is a champion. This is everything it took to win. This is Launch Control.
Hello, it's Lance. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, we've talked about it. We're gonna do it. Yeah, I spoke to David about it. He's very excited. We'll have a car ready. Give me a call later this week. We'll work out some details. Thank you.